everybody, and welcome to Amateur Dota 2 League Season 3. I'm Berkeley, joining me is Rock, and we are Four States Gaming. This is the first match for the North American League between ACP Gaming, otherwise known as Aardvark Car Park, versus OG No Namers. So, we've got an exciting matchup coming your way, so make sure you can check us out on Twitch, you're watching through Dota TV, and you can follow us and make sure that you stay in touch with all of the AD2L action as well as other tournaments. So, first up for bans, we got Bristleback in the off lane, and Rock, the pretty standard ban. How are you feeling this morning?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. I'm pretty excited about this game. I love OG No Namers. Lol. Awesome.
Do you want to enlighten the viewers on the joke?
Look, I'm hoping I get the joke. What I'm getting is that everyone they don't have names because everyone else puts so much effort into their names.
5 seconds.
Yep. I think that's good. So Marana as the first up ban for ACP Gaming, which is kind of an odd first ban. You don't see that very often. The Bristleback really standard. He's a very strong offlaner, and although in terms of his performance in the professional league isn't doing that well, he's still a force to be reckoned with in the offlane. But Marana, you know, she's really flexible. She's got a lot of potential as a carry or as a support, even a mid. So yeah, I think that's not a bad ban, but just an unusual ban coming out from ACP Gaming.
Yeah, look, interesting that you said that about Bristleback. See, I haven't actually seen too many pro games really lately, so I'm just really excited to see how this meta is changing. Like, it's really been changing in the off season. We've all been playing it. We've all been seeing what's been going well, and as you can see, the Doom's been banned off now as well. And that's another kind of ode to the fact that versatile, strong characters that can be played in multiple ways are really doing well in this meta. And the other ban that they got there is the Ember Spirit. So obviously a lot of people realizing that, you know, this new character can cause a bit of trouble, and they're banning him out early as well. I've seen that quite a bit lately. And we've got Abaddon first pick.
Reserve time.
Yeah, so Abaddon real defensive, you know, good tank ability, and his aphotic shield, for those of you who don't know, amazing ability to debuff. So if anyone's got an elongated stun, or is silenced or anything like that, you can actually just aphotic shield them, and not only are those debuffs removed, but they have immunity to damage for a short period of time. So really good combination with protecting a carry. So one of the most popular combinations that we see with the Abaddon is Abaddon is the Weaver.
Yeah.
In the same lane. So Weaver is a really good
5 seconds.
person to mix with Abaddon, because the minute that Weaver gets silenced, he is absolutely screwed. So yes, Abaddon can save his butt.
No, that's right, and also it adds to his already potent harass ability. But it's interesting to look at, you know, the way that the game's going, and people, the teams that have to pick first. It's a really hard pick. They've gone with support. It's a really strong support, but they have to go with something that maybe doesn't throw their, you know, show their hand a little bit too much, and it means that the second team who gets a double pick are just, you know, it's almost as if they're in the advantage, and I almost think that I'd much prefer second pick, you know, getting the first two. We've seen Dazzle and Invoker here. Now, both of these are massive characters at the moment. Invoker is what I'd say is probably one of the best first picks, and just straight away get it or get it out type picks at the moment. And Dazzle, well, he, you know, smashes with the armor debuff, and you can, you know, Invoker can add to that as well. He's got Forge Spirit armor debuff as well, and they might pick up a Slider or something. So ACP really in good stead. And for No Namers, we've got an awesome Nyx. What do you take of that, Bo?
10 seconds to go.
Well, yeah, Nyx is again one of the most popular heroes running at the moment. Invoker, #1. In the last few pro games, he's been banned or picked 80% of the time,
there you go.
Which is huge compared to any other hero. And Nyx and Marana are the next two most popular picks right now in the 6.80 patch. So yeah, Nyx really popular, and you know, when he first got that stun nerf, where it was no longer targetable, it was just, you know, you click the ground and pray that it actually hits. But you know, people are actually starting to get used to it, and now he's come back into favor. And you put him in a solo lane to get a quick level 6, and he is able to really harass and abuse squishy supports that are just roaming around the jungle. And he can take them out. You know, if you're running a tri lane, these supports really suffer in terms of XP, and they're well behind. So by the time Nyx is level 6, your supports could sometimes be as low as level 2 or 3. And that's just easy pickings for a Vendetta and a stun.
Oh, absolutely.
A little bit of a mana
10 seconds to go.
blast.
He's huge. So you reckon he's going to be offline? I reckon that's a pretty good
5
call.
seconds.
I think you called it like that last time, and yeah, so he seems to be definitely becoming more popular in the
Reserve
offlane role,
time.
which is really cool to see. Just such a totally difference. He used to be mid-hero or support hero, but just totally changed, just in the way that people are feeling out this new patch, which isn't all that new anymore, but it's definitely changed the game, and it's really exciting to see how it's being explored by just everyone. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know, from our level to, you know, on just amateur muck around games that we all play as our little team to, you know, even the pros. Everyone is, you know, coming up with new creative ideas, and it's pretty fun. And check out these bands, mate. Have a look at these. They're huge.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, the Nature's Prophet and the OD, two really strong heroes. The Nature's Prophet, you know, the split push, you just never want to go up against. The Nature's Prophet can just hammer down towers. The minute you focus on getting an enemy tower, he's just up, pushed out another lane, and hammering on, you know, even your racks. So it's something that ACP just don't want to deal with, and they're going to ban out that Nature's Prophet. And the OD, really strong mid laner, generally wins his lanes, and you know, if he can get some early kills and some good rotations, he can snowball into a just terrifying beast of a hero. And on the side of OG, we got a Sand King, which is one of the more popular. Sand King's actually one of my favorite heroes to play. I adore him. And you know, when I first started playing him, he was just not favored at all. Everyone's just like, oh god, Sand King, noob hero. But now he's actually been picked up in the pro scene as well, and he's becoming more and more popular. Even as like a mid hero or someone who jungles, because with the additions to the damage of his Sandstorm, he actually means that he's a little bit more viable to jungle early on, and get a quick blink dagger.
Absolutely, and also he gives harass capabilities to lanes. It's actually quite a good ganking skill too, so he's an excellent early roamer, because he can, you know, he's basically got a damage dealing invisibility on huge AoE, so he can come in, stun, you know, be safe, let his mid follow up and finish off, and he's an excellent roaming ganker early, or that roaming support role. And we've got a couple of picks here. We've got the Crystal Maiden for Aardvark Car Park Gaming, and we've got the Shadow Shaman for OG.
10 seconds to go.
Man, seriously, so awesome. Everyone
5
loves to see
seconds.
Crystal. Everyone loves to see, excuse me, sorry, Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman brings, you know, that huge push power.
Reserve time.
He also, even though it's not as effective now, excuse me again, he can also rush with the wards. He can, you know, do it better. At least he can help his team rush early if they want to rush early. He used to be able to do it level 6, but he can't do that anymore.
Yeah, thanks to the changes with the Roshan, that he can no longer be ward trapped. And it was the funniest thing to see Roshan just pinned in this little area surrounded by these wards and just drops like nobody's business. But the Shadow Shaman becoming more and more popular, even as late as these last couple of weeks. Last night, for me anyway, depending on where you are around the world, we're here in Australia, but last night for me was the Star Ladder Chinese Dota finals, or semi-finals or something like that, and we actually saw IG go up against Newbie, and Newbie picked the Shadow Shaman twice in a row, and that was just because of his amazing push potential and the fact that two of his skills are huge disables.
Yeah.
So he's just got a lot of potential as a hero, as just support and overall utility. It's amazing. It's huge.
He's a
And the
massively
carries picked up from ACP Gaming. and OG, with Lifestealer and Luna, two very, very strong late game carries. Lifestealer's going to come on a little bit sooner than the Luna. Luna is like a squishy little baby. When she first goes into lane, she can't really do anything. But the minute that she gets a couple of those big core items like a Manta and a whether she's going to go a Satanic or something along those lines in terms of damage, maybe a Butterfly, who knows. But as soon as she gets a couple of those big items online, she becomes a force to be reckoned with. Lifestealer generally comes online once he gets his armlet, and that as soon as the armlet's up and running, he is set and ready to team fight. So whether we're going to see a Nyx Nakes bomb or something, it's going to be interesting. Invis Nyx and then the Lifestealer jump in and
that's
pop
exactly
out
what
at
I
a
was
very
thinking.
inopportune time.
Yeah, like it's an awesome pick. He's an absolute unit, and on top of that, if you've got a Shackles there too, that is dead. That is so dead. Plus dead squared. But the other thing to also point out is that you know,
the mathematics of death.
That's right. If you put on a graph, it's all dead. But yeah, they've picked up the Crystal, they've picked up the Luna, but after they've got this Nyx, you know, and it really seems like they've got this huge tanky team for no-namers and awesome Storm Spirit for that last pick, and I'm just a little bit worried that Aardvark might be a bit squishy. They've gone for the Timbersaw to try and kind of add a bit to that tank, definitely a little bit of mobility, awesome character, awesome offlaner, so great pick. But yeah, you know, I'm just a little bit worried about the tank that's coming out on no-namers.
Yeah, and I would be worried as well, especially with the amount of damage and the maneuverability of their lineup. You know, with the Storm Spirit and the Nyx both able to have the Nyx or the Lifestealer jump into them and initiate like a boss. We're going to see some great initiations coming out from OG, and we're just going to have to see how ACP are able to stave those initiations off and actually you know, survive these huge initiation ganks and go into this late game, because they do have late game in this with the Luna and the Invoker. We see a fair amount of late game potential, and well, we may as well introduce these teams, because we got a 5-man up top from the Radiant. On the side of the Radiant is OG. We have Frog NN on the Nyx. We've got Thadpole on the Lifestealer. We've got Arth on the Shadow Shaman. Sitting on the Abaddon is Like, or Ike, I should say, the fabled character in Super Smash Bros. And lastly, on Storm Spirit is Bilbo Baggins McSwaggins? Bilbo Baggins McSwaggins.
Yeah, there we go. Another caster hater right there. How many syllables can I get into my name to make it hard for the caster? Now, I was a bit worried. There was a heap of OG up there in the jungle. So I was a bit worried about Aardvark right there, but down here on Invoker we've got Cloud. In the jungle we've got, it looks like Llama Pajamas on the Crystal Maiden. We've got Athena Phoenix on the Dazzle. We've got Senketsu Boys, I believe it is, on the Luna, and in the offlane on the Timbersaw we've got Q-Ball, which is so aptly named considering he's a giant metal ball who can chain around the whole map.
So we see Nyx heading up into the offlane, and I'm a little bit worried because he is facing a tri-lane right now, and it's one set of tangos and a salve. Ooh, he might get harassed down a fair amount, but you know, as long as he can get a couple of waves of XP, you know, 2 out of 3 waves of XP, he's going to come out on top. As long as they don't harass him too far out of lane and he doesn't die. That is the main thing. Survive. That's all you have to do in this sort of instance with a tri-lane. And we see a tri-lane at bottom with OG, and they're actually already going on the Timbersaw with the Shackle. Yeah, and the reactive armor is helping for him to regen, and he is so close. We see the Abaddon shield, you know, helping the lifesteal be able to dive a little bit, but I think that's the right call, and backing off is definitely the way to go for this, because if they dove for that Timbersaw, that would have just been a world of pain. You know, he's just got his Timber Chain, so he's going to be fine now. Yeah, he's gone for more an escape rather than damage dealing build. Yeah,
I think that's a good call. You got to play a bit safe, but I love this bottom tri-lane. Lifestealer, Abaddon, and Shadow Shaman. That's huge.
Shadow Shaman, yeah.
That's just you know, Shadow Shaman makes up for the fact that Abaddon doesn't really have any disable, and Abaddon makes up for the fact that Shadow Shaman doesn't have any heal. So it's a really nice little trial they've got down there.
Yeah, really, really strong. So I think we could see First Blood coming out from the Timbersaw, although the reactive armor is going to make it quite difficult. And then Cloud's just going to pick up a rune. He hasn't got his... I was going to say he hasn't got his bottle yet, but he's got 3 tangos pulled in his inventory, so he's pretty sweet for the moment. And Storm's already got his bottle.
Yeah, so this is obviously going to be a really interesting mid lane. 2 huge mid heavyweights. Always awesome to see. Storm Spirit is just, you know, one of the most mobile characters, you know, and surely he was picked to help, you know, lock down Timbersaw later on. That's for sure.
Well, we get a Vortex here in mid. Invoker's in a little bit of trouble. He throws out a Tornado, but... and an Icy Grip. Wow, the damage is being really dealt to the Storm Spirit, and he manages to just kill the Invoker. That was a man fight and a half.
Wow. And he's just going to bottle out of it as if it's A-OK.
And the only reason that that Invoker didn't kill him there was that was that he actually Storm Spirit harassed Invoker down to about half HP before he initiated on him, or maybe 2/3 HP, and then as soon as the initiation went out, Invoker was too low to actually turn it around. Although he managed to somehow even out the damage outputs, which was huge. I think if they had been full HP, Invoker would have gotten the better of that.
Yeah, well, look, it was very, very close, wasn't it? He definitely counter-initiated with that awesome Tornado, which is just such a wrecking skill. But yeah, Storm Spirit, he can be elusive to Manfight because he drops AoE and he also slows, so it's actually quite hard to get in his face.
Yeah, and the Nyx is actually being a little bit annoying to this Luna. They went on the Nyx before, and he just popped a Carapace and was able to survive, and he just salved right back up. He was fine, and you know, with that time spent trying to get the Nyx assassin, the Lifestealers pulled ahead in terms of last hits. So now we have the leading last hitters both on the side of OG, and that's the Storm Spirit and the Lifestealer, with Luna just behind.
Yeah, it's a pretty good effort, isn't it? Really liking this pick now as a offlane. You know, he's got the stun, he's got a reverse stun, which is just such a fantastic skill. You know, he's definitely a high skill player, which is why a lot of people kind of he kind of dropped off a little bit when he had that nerf, but the people who are still comfortable with him have just, you know, never stopped playing him. He's such a solid character. And he's versatile
and
too.
the amount of the amount of room that he can make once he hits level 6, you know, as long as he hits it nice and early, he can just make so much room for the carry, because he's just non-stop harassing those weak supports, keeping them down. And there we go, pops out a stun, drops, you know, a third of Dazzle's health just with that stun.
It was both of them. You got Luna as well. It was a beautiful stun there, just for a bit of harass. And look at him go. I don't know how he's keeping his mana up so well.
He's invested in a wand, which is great when you're sitting in against a tri-lane, because, you know, when they throw out all these skills at you, you know, you pop a Carapace, keep them coming, and just fill up your wand.
And not only that, but the poor old Dazzle's, you know, stuck between a rock and a hard place by the fact that he has to try and pull and control the lane for his carry. But Nyx is so solid now that whenever he goes, that's when Nyx is coming in and causing a bit of trouble. And the two of them, Crystal and Luna, have a lot more trouble trying to harass him or even just be in the same lane with him. So it's that quandary. Once, you know, you put a tri lane in and you get a couple levels in, and all of a sudden you've got a very strong look. There he goes again, stuns again, and he's a lot stronger than the two.
And gets the last hit.
Yeah, sneaks off.
And yeah, he's one creep away, or two creeps. Yeah, one creep away from level 6. So now level 6 is popped out. All he needs is some mana, and he can go and Vendetta one of these squishy supports that are sitting in this tri lane. You know, a Dazzle's just going to drop. He's sitting on 550 HP, and this Vendetta is going to be dealing 250 straight up.
And Can I just quickly...
not including the stun damage to follow.
Just going to draw your attention down to him. Now check
Looks
out
like
this
we
lifesteal.
lost one.
He is same level as Q-Ball on the Timbersaw. So the tri-lane is leveling at the same rate. They've zoned him out so well and harassed him so hard that he's basically got no level advantage. That's just such an excellent job.
And yeah, and the Shadow Shaman and Abaddon are both level 4. They're only one level behind the Lifestealer. That is immense. That is a huge amount of XP that's coming out there. Like Luna, she's sitting on level 5, level 4 for the Crystal Maiden, level 3 for the Dazzle. So, you know, Nyx is already ahead in terms of his XP for in the offlane. He's ahead of the Timbersaw by, you know, a decent amount. And Dazzle has missed out on a fair amount of XP with his pulling and jungling. So I think so far in this laning phase, OG have really come out on top.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about the fact that Lifestealer is so tough right from the word go. You know, to even try and take him on level 1, if he's popped the rage or something, then you've got nothing. He's absolute unit. And, you know, they're already starting to take advantage of that early tankiness. You know, being able to go head-to-head with Timbersaw.
Yeah, and just to mention really quickly, Rock, we've still got the overlay up with the chat with the select.
Goodness,
so if we want to do that to in-game,
Yep.
so apologies to those watching on Twitch. We'll fix that up for. You'll be seeing the overlay changing. So yeah, sorry for blocking out the vision of everything so far.
Wow, well, that's just horrible. I just changed that back, and don't worry, guys, you're no longer looking through the window glass of horrible. Oh wow,
Those little windows. That's all right. Sorry about that, guys. We'll make sure that we don't do that again in game 2. And one of the big things, down goes Invoker again to the Storm Spirit, and what I wanted to say is that, you know, Invoker, he's level 5. He's sitting at the same level as the carries that are sitting in tri-lanes. So he is running so bad, and Storm Spirit sitting at level 8. That he's just a force to be reckoned with right now. He's going to be able to be zipping around and ganking the minute that Nyx hits level 6 and is able to infest.
yeah, that's actually two vehicles for the next bomb. Just massive. You know, it really feels like OG no names have, you know, really
Radiance
either
toughened
they've
up their
done their
structure.
homework and drafted a team specific for Aardvark, or they've just shown really good skill. But they really started off with an aggressive draft, and they followed that through into this aggressive play early on, and you know, they're leading in last hits, they're leading in kills. And they've definitely, you know, stamped their, you know, authority on this first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and really it is a bit of a psychological advantage that that they've got over Aardvark Car Park now, because they're sort of, you know, they're on the back foot right now and having to play a little bit defensively because of this severe level difference between the Storm Spirit and the Invoker. They're mid-hero. Invoker's got a really bad start happening now, only just hitting level 6. So, you know, he's got his bottle, but he's lacking a fair few levels. He's only got 2 in Quas and 2 in Wex. He's actually got a pretty early level in Exhort, so he has that damage ability. He's not, you know, ignoring Exhort for the entire time. But a fair amount of damage going at this top tier 1 tower for OG. Yeah, that's going to probably drop a couple more last hits. It is within deny range. Invoker's coming in to try and deal a fair bit of damage to this Nyx, and Nyx just goes in Viz, and now Shadow Shaman's in a bit of trouble though. He's trying to deal a fair amount of damage. Bam! Down goes the Crystal Maiden. Invoker in trouble. Shallow Grave on the Invoker, but that means that Luna is so close to dropping. Heal coming out from the Dazzle, keeping the Invoker alive a little bit longer. They're chasing, they're trying to get him. And down he goes. He shouldn't have cast that last spell. Should have just run. Storm Spirit finishing off the Luna on the little tiny amount of health, zipping in. And they didn't get that tower, but it is so close to going down. And I think these guys should look at denying it.
I think they will. You know, that was such a make or break fight there. But one of the things we've also kind of not really talked about is the fact that Aardvark have got
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
team fight, whereas opposed to no names have gone for this very gank heavy beefy team. But a good way to counter gank teams is just to team up early and go for it. And if you've got Mana Aura and Damage Aura, Mana Aura coming out of Crystal, Damage Aura coming out of Luna, and heals for the whole team, plus a whole bunch of AoE dump and down, they can actually, start to probably do a lot more damage as a team early on than No Namers can.
Yeah, I don't know if early on, but the minute that they hit those levels that they can actually, Luna hits, now that she's level 6, she's got her Eclipse, and now they can start to actually team up and provide a little bit of harass to, or a little bit of counter initiation to these heavy ganking heroes, as you said.
We
We've
have
got
a
a
bit
Vortex
of
coming up on the Dazzle.
Dazzle's
He's just
probably
going
gonna
to
go down.
going to explode. He prolongs his life for a little bit for the Crystal Maiden to come in and try and save, but she should not be popping her head in here. She's severely underestimated the damage of the Storm Spirit. One more right click is needed, and down she goes. Abaddon finishing it off. Eclipse popped out from the Luna, but the Storm Spirit zips out of range, and now he's just going to turn around, Vortex her in, and she is dropping like it's hot. Luna gets shackled up, and now she's going to go down.
That was 3 for free.
Nothing.
Yep.
And where's
Crystal
that?
coming in,
Mix
trying to help.
Assassin.
They're trying to help the Dazzle,
The
but
Invoker in mid.
oh really?
Down pulls the Dazzle, shackled, and oh my, this is looking really bad. 10 kills to naught, favouring OG, and OG just such a powerful, strong start.
Yeah, this is what I was saying about not that they're going to be so strong and they'd like to sit there and farm up, but I don't think they have the chance. The only way they can really defend against this such a gank-heavy team is by teaming up early.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
Poor old Crystal minced, poor old Dazzle minced earlier, trying to ward, so they can't even ward by themselves. Without being in serious danger now. Both Nyx, Storm Spirit, highly mobile, easy to get around, great gankers, and there's just the possibility of being an infestor as well, so they can even gank, your whole trial lane without you even realizing it. I really don't think they have the luxury of sitting back and just trying
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
Play a little bit, farm heavy.
And that's exactly what they want to do with their lineup. The Luna and the Invoker just want to farm, but they're not going to have the option. And Dazzle's been caught out yet again, thanks to that not actually teaming up. And he's going to go down for the 11th kill on the side of OG. And ACP sitting on 0. They need something. They need to. What do you think they're going to need to do? Do you think they should initiate, or do you think that they should team up and wait for the initiation of the other team and turn it around in a team fight? Do you think that they should be the aggressors or the defenders?
I think they should be moderately aggressive in the fact they should team up and try and put pressure on towers, but play safe and definitely not fight under towers if they can avoid it. And just try and defend their towers for a little bit, but I think they're going to have to team up. The other thing is, if you
I'll
don't
pop the wards, and that's going to deal a fair amount of damage to these towers. Even pop the Storm Spirit, Vortexes the Luna, and she's just going to drop, explodes, and now the supports are just like, well, we can't do anything. Sorry Luna, apologies. Down drops the tower, and that is the first tower going the way of OG, and that's a little bit of extra gold for the entire team because that was not denied.
Yeah, absolutely, and Invoker went down too, so two of their biggest hitters just smashed there. But the fact that we're talking about the gank team is that gankers by nature have their skills geared towards getting their gold from other characters, from the enemy characters. They're not the best farmers. They can't clear massive waves of creep or any of these things, but what they do is they get kills fast and early, and they continue doing it by snowballing. So if you don't respect that, then you're basically playing the other team's strategy by feeding the gankers. Because it's a lot quicker to be able to get EXP and gold by just picking up easy supports, easy kills one after another, than by actually trying to farm up.
Dire's got one last top tower.
Timbersaul's only just got his mana boots, and now there's going to be initiation of the Invoker, and that was way, none of his other team here to help him out. He thought the Timbersaw was there, but he was not in range. So the Invoker's going to drop down. Charlotte the Great's going to finish on the Dazzle. He's going to be in the middle of nowhere, no man's land. Down he goes. Luna pops the Eclipse, but she is going to go down to the Storm Spirit. He's just zipping, keeping up with her. She might survive if she's really lucky, because Storm is out of mana. All he needs is one more right click. She turned around, and that was a bad move. She has a lot better speed, base speed. So she should have just run. That was a bad movement. And GG is called already on the side of ACP. So 18 kills to nil, and that's going to finish off the game between OG and ACP. Game 1. 15-minute bang on.
Yeah, well, look, they're very, unfortunately they had to call it GG. They, then they say they had lag issues, and we did see actually 3 of them get disconnected in one go. So maybe it was just a bit too hard for them. They just couldn't, get through those lag issues, and it looks like, they kind of got stomped for it.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see a little bit of a turnaround from ACP. We're going into Game 2 straight after this, so those watching on Twitch and Dota TV, make sure you stick with us. Game 2 is coming up right after this. My name is Berkeley. Joining me is the effervescent Rock, and we are 4 States Casting, so don't go anywhere. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, send us a tweet during the break. It's only going to be a few minutes, and we're going to have Game 2 coming for you right now.
See you soon.